Good morning and happy Vlogmas Day 10. It's the 9th of December. I'm just having my morning coffee, bit of Xbox time, and then I'll be getting on with my day. So we'll see if I get that dress I cut out on Monday sewn up. I've also got a pattern to put together that I printed off and another pattern to modify for Minerva projects. So we'll see how much of that I get done. I've got some baking to get done this week. Not like any festive Christmassy baking or anything, just baking so we've got desserts. So we'll see what I get up to today. It should be a little bit more productive than Mondays and Tuesdays because work gets in the way of actually doing stuff. So got another inch or so, maybe 2 inches to knit on my socks before I can put the heels in. And the next clue of the mystery mittens comes out today. So obviously I won't be filming the mystery mittens, but we'll see which other bits and pieces I get up to. Okay, so I've got the sewing machine out again. I'm going to put a bit of time lapse on whilst I'm sewing up that Freya dress that I cut out on Monday. It's quite a simple sew, so it shouldn't take too long to do. But obviously I won't be able to finish it today, so I need to hang it up and let the hem drop, just in case there's any sort of unevenness once it's sewn up, so I'll be hemming it another day. So I'm going to be using 2 feet whilst I'm sewing. I've kind of moved away a little bit from the universal foot, which I have habitually been using to sew seams. The one that comes with pretty much every sewing machine. Looks kind of like that. In most cases, I've started using this foot, which has this bit sticking outside here, and that has 1/8 of an inch marked on it. So that's kind of handy for lining up my seams. So I run the fabric underneath it rather than just looking at the lines on the plate of my machine. So there's that one, which is the one I'm going to start with. And then I've got this foot, which is an overcasting foot, and it does the job of finishing the seams the same way that a serger would finish them, but without obviously cutting the seam allowance. And it doesn't sew the seam at the same time like a serger or a cover stitch would. So it's got this like blade in the middle that you run down the side of the fabric, and then there's a prong in the middle of the foot there that the thread goes over, and it throws the thread over the edge of the fabric. So I use it with a plain zigzag stitch. I've found if I try using the overcast stitch on my machine, the needle hits the prong in the middle and snaps. So we don't want that. So I just use a plain zigzag stitch to overcast my edges. So I've got blue thread set up, I've got my bobbin in, and I'm just about to start putting my pattern pieces together, putting some stabilisers on the shoulder seams. I don't often do that step, but I'm going to for this one. Just to stop the seams, the shoulders coming out of shape as you wear the dress, because it's in a stretchy fabric. So I'm just going to be using a plain ribbon for that. So I'll pop the time lapse on. We'll see how long my battery holds out, but I can time lapse on my iPad as well, so if we need to, we'll switch devices, assuming I notice, of course. The ironing board is set up behind me, so if I pop out of the frame, I've just gone to press a seam. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, so that's the dress sewn up, bar the hems and the cuffs. The direction of the print didn't bother me too much, so I haven't worried about recutting stuff. It's, as I say, it's not overly obvious which way is up and which way is down when you look at it made up, so yeah. Now, one thing that is irritating me a little bit is the neckband. I really struggle with stretch neckbands. You may have seen me unpick a bit because I managed to get a pleat in it. A couple of puckers I can live with, but pleats, I mean, come on. So I mean, there are some puckers in this. It's not too bad at the front. There's one significant pucker at the front, but it doesn't really notice because the print is kind of here, but you can't really see it. The back is another matter though, and this bit in particular, it may not be coming up particularly well on the camera, but there's loads of puckers around this area, and a couple of others across the back. So I'm not going to do anything about it now. I have sewn it on and finished the seams because it is something that I probably could live with. We'll see. I am going to do a bit of hand stitching, I think, once I hem it, to just get the serged edge of the neckband to sit flat against the bodice at the back, because it's just not wanting to do that, which may be something to do with how poorly I've attached the neckband, who knows. But we'll see what it's like once it's had a chance to rest. And the neckband's got plenty of stretch, so I don't have to worry about getting it on, even though it's quite small. So yeah, so we'll try it on, and when I hem it and do the cuffs, then I'll decide whether I'm going to do anything about the neckband. To be fair, I probably won't, because it is the back that's worse than the front. So in all honesty, if you can notice that it's puckered, you're standing too close. But we'll see how I feel about it in a day or so when I come back to do the hem and the cuffs. Suppose I should check it fits, really. So yeah, the fit's fine. Don't think the puckers are going to notice too much, and it'll finish right about my knee once it's hemmed. So that's Freya, 98% complete. I get my hem in, there we go, there's the bottom. A little bit of a swish, but not masses, not as much as the, what's it called? The one with the crossover front. If I remember the name of it, I'll put it on the screen. I can check in the book. It's just over there. Joni, that was it. The Joni dress has a nice swishy skirt. I did think about mashing together the top of this with the Joni skirt for this fabric, but the fabric's fairly light. It's soft as butter though, this jersey. Soft as butter. I will put an affiliate link for Minerva for the fabric down below. Yeah, so pleased overall, despite my issues with the collar or the neckband. But now that I've got it on, I think, yeah, I'll probably leave it as it is, because it's, my alternative would have been to have turned it into a scoop neck and put bias binding on, but I quite like the neckline on this. So yeah, so I'll hang it up on the mannequin upstairs in a bit, and in a day or two I will hem and cuff it.